And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Peach. And Peach writes, "Hey, John, Kevin Feige had an interview with Variety, which we'll be referencing for a couple of stories here today, actually. And he said some interesting stuff. We learned that Chloe Zhao was originally considered for Black Widow, but that didn't happen. Kevin also said that Gemma Chan, the amazing Gemma Chan, Gemma Chan Sersi is the lead of Eternals. I thought it was Richard Madden, but Feige just said it's Gemma Chan. They may be both leads. I love this news because I love Gemma Chan. Who doesn't? The woman is gorgeous also. Anyway, what do you think about this?" All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, man. And of course, one of the movies we've been talking a lot about recently, anxiously, excitedly about, is Eternals. It's a movie that, and a story and a group of characters a lot of people don't know anything about, Rob. Like, just don't know anything about whatsoever. It's got a little bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy flavor that way, because nobody knew what that was either going into it. And of course, you got Angelina Jolie in there. You got Madison. You got Camille Nanjiani. You got Gemma Chan. It's a huge ensemble movie. Now, I think myself, Rob, and probably a lot of other people would just assume that the lead of it is going to be Angelina Jolie, Academy Award winner Angelina Jolie. Of course, at all the big events they've done too, whenever they brought out the cast, who's the last one they bring out every single time? Angelina Jolie. But we kept hearing it truly is an ensemble cast. Well, maybe it does have a lead. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety who wrote about, with an interview with Kevin Feige, who says, "It came down to casting. So, for Sersi, for instance, and if there was a lead in this ensemble, it is Sersi. It's Gemma Chan. We looked at and read all sorts of women for that part and ended up really believing that Gemma was best for it. And thankfully, she's proven that to be the case in the final movie." So there you have it. He's saying, look, we looked at all sorts of people, but really, if there is, now this is the key part of his statement there, Rob. He says, if there is a lead, it's Sersi. If there is a lead, it's Sersi. So that really does still sound to me a lot like this will very much be an ensemble, but probably a good part of the story is revolving. And Rob, you also got to think that Gemma Chan may have started a little bit behind because she's already in an MCU movie. She was in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
As a completely different character, in heavy makeup nonetheless. But I mean, so it's not too hard, but you got to think that probably worked against her at first. But apparently to Feige, it was just, look, she is the best person for this role. It doesn't matter that we've had her in something else. People won't really recognize her from that anyway because of the makeup, and she's going to be in it. And Rob, understanding too that this is, if not the most prominent role in the movie, Kevin Feige seems to suggest it's at least one of the most prominent roles. That says even more about her getting cast in the role. Anyway, Rob, I know you, more than anybody else I know, have been extremely excited about Eternals.
Yes.
How do you take these words from Kevin Feige and his referencing Gemma Chan? Like, how do you take all this?
Well, like you said, I mean, if you think about all the great things on the planet Earth, Gemma Chan's probably really high up on that list. So to me, I'm like, great, and because I'm looking again, I sometimes, I don't mean to be flippant, but I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to have a whole shelf of Hot Toys figures of all of the Eternals led by Gemma Chan, which is all good. But I love the idea of the Eternals. And I think the idea that doing basically a family saga over thousands of years is going to be very, very interesting. And I love this cast. I love here's a cast where diversity is part of the story. And I love the actors they've put together. We've seen nothing about this movie. I mean, they've released like some artwork, but no trailer. No one has any sense of what this movie is at all. And I think that they've been doing that on purpose because now they have an Academy Award-winning director. I'm hoping that this is going to be one of the most special of Marvel films because, like with Guardians, like you pointed out earlier, no one knows what this property is. It's a Jack Kirby property. He created it, and they've kept it going throughout the years at Marvel. But it's not even well known within Marvel Comics fan circles. And I think the fact that they have a really eclectic, interesting cast is, I hope, going to make this movie something that we're not used to seeing, and it's going to be something really new and exciting. And knowing that Gemma Chan leads this ensemble, oh yeah.
It's shaping up to be good. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about Eternals in just a couple of minutes. But anyway, guys, for now, what do you think about this? I mean, I'm probably sure there's a lot of you guys that thought that if there was any lead in it, it was clearly going to be Angelina Jolie, because Angelina Jolie. But it still sounds like it's mostly an ensemble. Gemma's role is going to be very prominent, obviously. How do you guys feel about this? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.